All right. So, Minister, it's about Bill 44. So I want to ask you, Bill 44 actually, like, I'm a burden, and it really makes me angry. And the reason is, in a sense, it takes away, from the way the bill is phrased, it gives parents right to pull off their children when the three topics.
But they already have that right.
No, but see, now it's in trend. It's in the law. Now the teacher actually has to get the parents' approval, right?
Right, but they have to do that for sex ed now. They have to do that now. They have to notify them. They have to give an opt-out. With religion, they have to notify them. They don't have an opt-out, but they have to notify them. That's 2 out of 3. And there's nothing in the curriculum on sexual orientation.
But it's in a sense that do you agree that it's really severely restricting the teacher's right to not the right, the freedom to teach? No.
It doesn't have anything to do with what they say in the class, with any discussion they have. It's only about in the curriculum, those 3 areas, in the curriculum.
See, in the curriculum, when the teacher decides, you're saying that it's when the teachers design them in the beginning, or?
Yes, like in September, the school board sets out a curriculum. It says you're going to teach this, you're going to teach that kind of math, you're going to teach that in English, you're going to teach that in social studies. That's what they define. And they say, and at that time they tell you, if your child is, we're going to have sexual education, this is what we're going to teach. And you then, once you're notified, can say, I don't want my child to be in that class.
Right.
Now, in Alberta, okay, think of how many people study sex ed in a year. Thousands, tens of thousands.
So you're saying?
Do you know how many people opt out?
I don't know.
47.
So 47.
47 out of tens of thousands. Most parents, just because they're notified, they have a chance to have a discussion with their child before or after they have the discussion in class. Most parents don't take them out.
So you're basing on the argument that they are currently, based on what is existing, they're only 47. But can you, let me ask you this: if there are thousands of parents taking out their students, in a sense causing disruption, would you reevaluate the legislation and actually retract and change it? Like,
well,
would you?
I won't make any promise because there's a chance that a meteorite's going to hit this building right now, and it's about the same chance. Let's not deal with in the what-ifs. We're reasonable people. We made provisions because the school board said they had some problems. We put in a vision says if you have an issue with a teacher, then you go to the teacher, you go to the principal, you go to the school board. That's in there now, that you have to do that.
See,
it doesn't have anything to do with indirect discussions with any of that 3 subject matter, period.
But how do you explain, okay, I'm not a teacher, but how do you explain the Teachers Federation coming out so strongly?
Because
is it just because they're union? Like, but no, so you're saying that they don't have any reason?
Have you talked to regular teachers?
No.
I have. Not 1, not 5, 10, 20, 30, who support this bill because they're parents. A parent right now has a choice to determine what kind of school they go to, whether it's a charter school, public school, private school.
They have
Catholic.
that freedom right now?
They have that choice. They decide which clothes you're going to wear. They decide what religion you're going to speak. They're going to decide what activities you have. They decide what friends you have. To think that you or anybody else can decide what the parent has, Section 26 of the United Nations Charter says the parent has the ultimate right to decide what the child learns. Ultimate decision on respect to their education. Also, experts will tell you that the determination of whether students can be successfully, 70% of that determined by the fact of their parental involvement, not by their DNA, not by what school they go to, by their parental involvement. What you're trying to tell us is that you would rather have people socially engineer and determine for those children what is right for them versus their parents, when experts tell you 70% of their success rate is determined by their parental involvement.
See, I think everyone is very passionate about this topic, including me, and you are very well briefed. You gave your reason, and maybe I should.
I had to read it. I had to write it. I had to research it. I'm not just forming an opinion based on my belief, not based on something I've heard, not something I read. I'm basing it on fact. and I'm basing it on...
Well, the legislation is it's pretty short. Like, I've got the 2-page right here, the changes that is relevant. But see, my concern as an Albertan, as a Calgarian, is, or I'm hearing the Teachers Federation, and right now, hang on a moment, Minister. But what you're saying right now is the Teachers Federation is just saying those stuff because they're union, and not because that they are they're teacher and concerned about the potential problems.
What they think. Do you think any union represents every member?
No, no, of course no.
Yeah. Every Albertan?
No.
I don't expect I do.
All right.
And the teachers' union shouldn't expect that they represent all teachers. And there's nobody out there that represents all parents.
So you're telling me if there are enough individual teachers telling you that those problems and not just a union spokesperson, then you would reconsider and maybe change the law in the future.
Reconsider. If there is a need to look at it later, where reasonable people will look at it. But until there's something, I'm not even going to speculate. There is nothing to worry about. There will be nothing to worry about in my humble estimation. If I'm proven wrong, then I'm proven wrong.
Minister,
but I'm not going to worry about it.
I really hope you're right, but as an Albertan, I'm really concerned based on the stuff I read. But yeah, well, you tried to give a convincing argument. So
I believe
respect
in
you.
our strength. Do you remember when same-sex marriage came through in 2005?
Oh yeah.
Do you remember how many demonstrations there were? None. Do you remember how many newspaper articles there were about it?
But let me remind you. Hang on a moment, Minister. You can list everything, but let me remind you this. Remember the time when the Alberta government came out and say that we are not going to compensate those people that are mentally challenged, and they got. No, hang on a moment. What I'm pointing out is, when enough people actually complain, the government retract the reactions, the decisions.
Deal with apples. That's a different issue. This is a different issue. End of story. Thank you.
Thanks. Thank you.